But let's get to the phones. Eric is joining us in Los Angeles, California. Eric, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. How are you?
Eric, I'm living the dream. What's going on with you?
I'm a police officer in the Los Angeles area. I'll start by saying that I like my job and I want to make it work. But right now I'm just not happy. Law enforcement being scrutinized, making it hard to do the job. I work weekends, I work nights, I work long hours, I work holidays, and I'm married. My wife and I want to start a family, and that's, kind of difficult to do with the schedule I'm on, so it's really hard right now.
Yeah. What would you say is the main reason that you wanted to become a police officer? Give me the heart reason.
I like serving the community, and I like helping people.
Yes, helping, serving, protecting. That's what you're about. So when you're doing that kind of work, how does that feel to you?
When I'm actually able to do it, it feels good.
Yeah. So have you given thought to other ways that you can help, serve, protect that does not include being a police officer?
I have, yeah. I've considered, the fire department, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Now, let me ask you this. What if the public scrutiny did not exist the way it does, and the crazy long hours did not exist the way they do now? Would you be calling me about changing?
No.
Okay. So do you see the conundrum here?
I do.
So on one hand, there is other work. I teach in the sweet spot. There are multiple jobs, multiple career paths, even multiple dream jobs. You've heard me say that, I guess?
I have.
Yeah, so I really believe that. So on one hand, there are other ways, other directions you can go. On the other hand, I wonder if we didn't change locations and zip codes, could we change those two? And maybe there's a third or fourth variable, but those two variables, which are the unfortunately, all police officers are being bundled into a bad group of apples. And in certain cities, it's worse than others. So you've got your environment there, and then you've got the long hours. So I guess there's two ways to get about this. Have you thought of both of those ways? One is we change locations to same work, different location. And then the other one is we just change the type of work we're doing. We get out of police work altogether. What are your thoughts?
Location is, a difficult thing. We're so established in our area, and I'm not sure that the grass is greener on the other side. Switching departments or things like that. I'm not,
Here's how you find out though.
Sure
you got to start hanging out with some firemen. I'm serious.
Yeah, okay.
No, I mean how? Yeah. So unless you were talking about grass is greener in a different city, is that what you meant?
That's what I thought you were referring to. Is switching like the department or.
I'm telling you right now, I'm just making this up, but I mean, if you come to certain parts of the South, it's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
I'm just being real with you. I'm sure it's that way in the Midwest too.
Yeah, I could see that.
Hey, all of a sudden, Minneapolis, they've changed their tune pretty quick. I'm not telling you go to Minneapolis, but I'm just telling you, that's an option, but I don't think it's an option for you. It's an option, but not an option for you because of family or whatever. You want to do life in LA, so that's fine. Don't look back. So now it's, let's start hanging out with some firemen. Let's start hanging out with some EMTs. Let's start hanging out with, big time security guys that work, big time security, corporate security. I mean, I just think you have to look at what are my other options out there that still allow me to protect, serve, because that's why you became a police officer. So to me, it's the proximity principle, which says in order to do what Eric wants to do, he's got to be around people that are doing it and in places where it is happening. So we start hanging out and talking to some of these people, and we go, is the grass greener over here? Because it's possible that, yes, firemen don't get the scrutiny and don't get the judgment that police officers do, but you may be bored out of your skull sitting around playing checkers until the fire alarm goes off. I don't know. I don't know how you're wired, but you'll find out when you get in proximity. So I'd look at security. I'd look at FBI. I start looking at federal law enforcement. Look at a lot of different options. And then when you do that, you start talking to people that are doing that, and you get a good idea whether or not your heart will feel that same overwhelming sense of meaning that you have when you are doing police work and not being hampered.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
I think we've covered it. I went ahead and jumped ahead of the game. I mean, I knew what you were going to ask.
Right.
So I went ahead and jumped to it.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's before you. Now.
Yeah. And like I said, I do enjoy the career. So, it's just, I wouldn't want to leave the career. Jumping over to a different side of serving the community, like being a fireman, is something I definitely consider. But
yeah, I'm not asking you or telling you to leave the career. I'm just saying that there's police work, and then there's other types of protect and serve work. That's what I'd call it.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Right.
You agree with me that you're really about protecting and serving?
Yes.
Yeah. So now let me just say this, because we didn't cover this. If you feel like circumstances will change, then I'd say bite the stick. But I feel like the hours combined with the toxicity in Los Angeles towards police, I think that combo is a left-right that just is eventually going to knock you out. I don't know if you can put up with it. Can you keep putting up with it for much longer?
As far as the hours go, the hours will change based on my seniority level.
Okay.
The more time I have on, the better the hours get.
So let's look forward. Let's put a date in mind. When would that start to change where your hours would get better?
Yeah, it's probably a couple years. I'd estimate probably coming up on like 2-3 years.
Well, if you can put up with it, fine. I just wanted you to consider all your options. That's the option we didn't talk about because I think it's your last option. But, you keep your head down and bite your lip. I do think that you can still thrive in that role, but it's going to take an attitude adjustment, to say, man, it's going to be a storm for a while. It's not going to be fun, but I'm willing to put up with it. But I don't want you to feel that you have to do that either. I think you've got all the options covered. I think you're where you need to be right now. And I think if I'm you, I'm exploring all those other options that I gave you.
Okay.
And your heart is going to reveal to you what is an option and what isn't. It just is. So go for it. You got this. And I appreciate your service, Eric. You're a great American.